Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Women in Islam, a program that looks at inspirational and motivational stories of women and a journey through Ramadan. Joining me in studio today is Naheeda, who is a real estate agent in Johannesburg. Assalamu alaikum and welcome, Naheeda.
Walaikum salam, Femida. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm very fine. Thank you for agreeing to do the interview today and thank you for joining us. And inshallah, please tell us more about yourself and your work that you're doing as a real estate agent.
Okay, so I'm a real estate agent for Pam Golding Properties. I'm the area specialist in the Lenasia area. I've started out in Lenasia South, which was my dominant area for many years. As I was a businesswoman, I ran my own local butchery in the area for 21 to 22 years. And then I got pushed over onto Pam Golding Properties as a real estate agent. So.
And how long have you been doing it?
I'm entering my 4th year in the real estate market.
And tell me, in terms of, are you just doing the Lenasia South area? Are you doing other areas at the moment?
I've recently been promoted to the Lenasia Central area only. So even though I'm allowed to work the Lenasia South area because I've built myself up there and because of all my extensive marketing in the area, I've only got to specialize in Lenasia itself.
I know when I've been driving through Lenasia, sometimes I see your billboard up there on some of the streets. So well done, Naheeda, with all the work that you're doing. Tell me, what has been the highlight of your career?
The highlight of my career, so if you asked me previously, I would have told you it was in 2020 when I was nominated as one of the regional finalists for Pam Golding, and I came in as a runner-up. However, that has just been bombarded with my nomination for the Gold Club prestigious final awards that's come up now on the 17th of May. So I fly down to Cape Town for those nominations. I'm one of the nominees.
Wow, congratulations on that.
Jazakallah.
It must have taken a lot of effort on your side. How many properties did you have to try and actually sell to attain that?
Well, because I started in Lenasia South, where our units are usually much cheaper, I had to sell, like, for every agent that was selling a one property for 2.4 million, I would have to match up to 6 properties, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 properties. But I can say I was blessed in that way because they placed me in areas where I was known, where I was quite familiar with. I was already a household brand because of the previous business that I had in the community. So shukr, I was favored in that way and it boosted me all the way.
Naheeda, in terms of your career as an estate agent, what was the funniest experience that you had?
That would undoubtedly be the time I took a client for viewing and I rocked up at the house and I found that the people in the house were people that I've already placed a month prior to that. And I was like, oops, wrong house. But luckily, fortunately enough, it was an easy couple. So they came with me and they helped me find my bearings and I took them to the proper house after that.
Alhamdulillah. And what has been your challenge as an estate agent?
My challenge as an estate agent in the Lanes and Lane South area would most definitely be that it's a saturated market. There's so many household brands out there that's been in existence for 30 and 40 years and I'm very new in the market. And I think we know that in our communities, it's a very loyal community, so people tend to go to who they've worked with before. But I'm finding my feet. I'm learning. I'm learning as I go along.
And you are a mom and you were recently married. Please share with us this beautiful story just before Ramadan.
Oh, yes. So I've got my 3 children, alhamdulillah, they're all big. I've got my grandson that's 8 months old and I'm going to meet for the first time on the 10th of May because they moved to Australia. My daughter got married and moved to Australia and shortly after that COVID hit us. So I couldn't see them and I couldn't be there with her at the time of her childbirth and through her pregnancy season. However, shukr, Allah has made it possible and I'm going to see them now on the 10th of May. So I'm really excited to meet my first grandson, my Mohammed Amar. And then I've been blessed. I've met somebody, I've met a very, very good person late last year and alhamdulillah we made nikah just before Ramadan.
Alhamdulillah. So, and how's it been going so far and your first Ramadan together?
The only way I can explain it is Allah's favor upon favor on me. Alhamdulillah. Shukr. I've been blessed and I'm fortunate enough to have a set of in-laws, my mom-in-law and my dad-in-law, that are just next to 90 years old. And shukr, I feel like Allah has given me these angels to continue my journey in this world. So, alhamdulillah, shukr.
That's so sweet. Angels, surrounded by angels, is so important, and a good supporting structure. As a mom and a wife, and you've got 3 children, how do you juggle during this Ramadan?
You know, Femida, if I look at my life and I look at my journey, I wouldn't really call it a juggle. It's all you know what to do. I think you can relate to that as well. Is that that's what we do. We get up every day and we work and we run a house, and that's what you do. It's not even a juggle anymore. It's just what comes naturally. There's challenges in the days, but I think we get through it.
And how do you, let's go back into those challenges. How do you juggle those challenges and make sure that you still go and see your clients and you're still home for iftar?
I've been taking it slightly easier over this Ramadan as compared to last Ramadan, because I'm in a new home and I've got an amanat. There's people that I've got to see to. There's a new role that I have to play all together. I'm back to being Naheeda, the daughter-in-law, Naheeda, the wife, Naheeda, the mother, and I'm Naheeda, the real estate. So what I've done over this Ramadan, being my first Ramadan, I've just taken it a bit easy with my work-wise, and inshallah after Eid I will go back into it full swing.
Alhamdulillah, I've been speaking to a lot of women during the show, and a lot of them are saying that they actually take it a bit easier in Ramadan, and I had to learn to actually also take it easier, because I've also been busy, rushing and doing things. So Alhamdulillah, I'm glad to hear that you know better, that you rather just take everything easy, and inshallah after Ramadan you will continue. In terms of also the juggle, how do you find the community and going out to do appointments during Ramadan with Muslim clients?
Alhamdulillah, there's lots of understanding. I mean, being a woman, and there's a lot of, it's I don't know how to explain, how do I put it into words for you? Is that we live in a community that's been through the Ramadan thing, where they go into shops and they know shops close earlier. It's a community that's set around occasions like Ramadan. You get your Diwali, where the Hindu and Tamil people, they have their fasting month before that. So shukr, we've got quite an easy community. People are very understanding. So when you tell people, I can't make it this evening because it's my fasting month, you find, alhamdulillah, they, oh yes, sorry, they actually apologize that they're phoning you at that time, or that they're requesting your services at an odd time, and shukr, alhamdulillah.
And there's no rush to actually push you to make sales during this month, actually, eh?
No. Shukr, like I say, alhamdulillah, Allah has favored me and I've managed to meet the most of my goals, so I can take it easy for this season of Ramadan. Shukr.
And in terms of life lessons, what sort of life lessons can you share with other women out there?
Femida, all I can say is that, the journey goes on. Is that don't let yesterday's mistakes or yesterday's challenges and hardships anchor you down. Grab the lessons out of it as your stepping stone to go forward. So many times women look at their lives and they use the negativities of the past to anchor them down, which doesn't allow them to move forward. And I believe differently. I believe you take the past and you use it as your stepping stone, as your ladder, to climb and get ahead. So,
in terms of, that's actually very good advice. And in terms of a woman that you've probably made contact with in your career and also in the communities, do you think there's some sort of disconnect with women in communities at the moment?
We're living in a very liberal day and age. I don't find any cause for disconnect outside of the people that choose to disconnect for themselves. But I honestly believe, after everything that I've been through, we choose what we want to come to us. You need to be willing to get up and go for it. You need to make the connections. You need to find the connections, and you have to believe. And you've got to believe in yourself. And you've got to believe that there's a greater power that oversees it. And you go out there and you make it happen. Whatever it is, alhamdulillah, South Africa, where it's at, there's so much of opportunities. Our opportunities are endless. So go out there and make the connection and go forward. Stop holding back. Our fear, a lot of women's fear, is to succeed, believe it or not. We dream of success, but yet it's our biggest fear. And the minute success stares us in the face, we back down and run away from it. So we just need to shake it off sometimes.
I want you to hold that thought for me, because just after this break, we're going to be back and talk to Naheeda more about, about women, keep on moving out there and not being afraid and removing that fear that we have of success. Inshallah, please join us just after this short break.